All right, I'm fixing to blow some minds. And I don't know how much of a secret this is. But it could be earth shattering. So, with all the risk involved, I'm going to do it anyways. What's the biggest difference between black and white people? Nothing. 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 All you have to do is look around. And most of us are like this. We buy into the bullshit that media feeds us. Is there a difference between the Reverend Al Sharpton and David Duke? Yeah, probably. Because they are both out for media attention. They're both out to make money on the racial divide. That's what they're there for. But that's not us. That's not the majority of us. And when I say us, I mean all of us. All of us who call ourselves Americans. As taboo as that fucking term's gotten, that's who we are. And this goes across class and geography and even culture. It's very simple. I'll start with rich people. I remember going to an Orioles game, 10 years ago. And I had happened to get a parking pass for a lot that's right next to the players' lot. And of course the players' lot is fenced in and such. But as I'm walking past, it was my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, hey, so let's see if we can guess whose car's whose. And there was this decked out Range Rover sitting near the front of the lot. It was sleek, windows were blacked out, like 24s on it. I was like, that's Adam Jones. I almost guarantee that's Adam Jones. And right next to it was this Ford F-350 dually that had like a 10-inch lift on it. And same thing, tricked out. I mean, just a super ridiculously expensive pickup truck. And I was like, that's Luke Scott's. I must bet money it's Luke Scott's. And there was an attendant there, and I walked up to the attendant, and I had some fire department stuff on, so I guess I had like a certain level of trust with him. And we started talking. I was like, dude, I said, I might ask you to tell me, I said, but just kind of nod if I'm right. And I pointed out the two cars, and it was I thought they were, and I was right. And so when you look at it, these are two people. Adam Jones is very black. He's very pro-black. He comes from an underclassed household in San Diego, if I do believe right. If I do remember right. Grew up poor, grew up in shittier schools, got rich, and what's he do? He went and bought a stupid, ridiculously expensive car. Luke Scott grew up poor in Florida, in redneck Florida. Not like Miami Beach, Florida, redneck Florida. All right, the part of Florida that still has a twang. Grew up poor, went to shittier schools, got rich, went and bought a stupid, expensive, ridiculous vehicle. Now, the cars are different. There's no doubt. Adam Jones is going to have a preference towards a Range Rover. Luke Scott's got a preference towards a pickup truck. The concept's the same. They're both ridiculously tricked out, stupid expensive, and way more than most people can afford. But it's the first thing they did. They came from poverty, they got rich, and they went and bought something stupid expensive. A very black guy and a very white guy. One from California, one from Florida. One grew up in the hood, one grew up in the country. But they did the same thing when they got money. There's no difference, right? Let's look at people who didn't come from poverty and got rich. Let's look at rich people. What do rich white people do? Rich white people have houses that are in gated communities behind alarm systems filled with expensive shit that they buy to show other rich friends, look at all the expensive shit I've got. They go to country clubs. They play golf. They play tennis. They drink scotch and brandy. No one fucking likes scotch or brandy. You drink it because you're rich. And that's what rich people are supposed to drink. That's why I drink fucking whiskey, is because that's what us people drink. What do rich black guys who have been rich black guys do? They buy houses in gated communities behind alarm systems filled with expensive shit to show all the rich friends, look at all the expensive shit I got. They play golf and play tennis at the same fucking country clubs. They drink the same scotch and the same brandy. Middle class people. Now we're getting to us. Most of us. Me included. What do we worry about? I don't worry about the racial divide. I don't worry about these hashtag white people problems. I don't worry about when my privilege is going to get ruined. I worry about paying my fucking mortgage. I worry about if my fucking truck breaks, I don't think I can fix it. I don't have the money to replace a transmission. I'm worried about my son. He's young. How do I teach him these things? How do I teach him how to be a man? How do I teach him how to be productive? How to be successful? What's the black guy down the street? Literally down the street, 5 houses down, living in almost the same damn type of house. What's he worrying about? Things worried about the racial divide? He's worried about paying his mortgage. He's worried that if his Explorer breaks down, he can't afford to fix it. He's worried about his son and teaching him the proper way to do things, how to be a man, how to be successful. We're thinking the same exact things. Look at the poor. What's your biggest problems in poor black neighborhoods in the ghetto? Crime, drugs, single motherhood, bad educations, right? So let's compare. Once again, we'll do East and West Coast. You got a ghetto in California somewhere. Crime, drugs, single motherhood, bad education. Come to the East Coast. Find yourself a trailer park. What's your biggest problems in a trailer park? Crime, drugs, single motherhood, bad education. The same exact fucking problems. Poverty equals the same problems. Black or white, same problems. There's no difference. There's no difference. What happens is the PC police and the media, and they tell black people, white people are out to get you. White people are the reason you got all these problems. And the media tells white people, look at how violent all these black people are. You should be scared in the hood. We're just letting you know. FYI. Right? And they pit us against each other because I'm supposed to be the evil shadow figure who's taking all of your money and your opportunity, and you're supposed to be the crime-riddled criminal who's going to jack me, beat me down, and shoot me in the fucking face. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying I'm the most comfortable in the world walking through Lincoln Park in Baltimore. I'm not saying that there is not some fucking rich white dudes out there who prey on minorities, who prey on underclass people. But it's not the majority. It is the 1% of 1% of 1%. There's this many. As I've taught my son, this many. It's not most of us. Anybody who thinks it's most of us, you're blind. Open your eyes. Get out of your comfort zone. If you're black and you think that's the case, that all white people are evil, and we're all out to take your money, and we're all out to keep you down, Leave your comfort zone. Go somewhere predominantly white, walk into a bar, sit down and say, hey, what's up, man? I'll fucking guarantee you that within 10 minutes, that dude is probably going to buy you a beer, and y'all are going to talk about the same shit. You're going to talk about women. You're going to talk about how much they drive you crazy. You're going to talk about your kids. You're going to talk about life problems, money. White people, if you think that everywhere you go you're going to get shot, murdered, raped, fucking pillaged, whatever, get out of your comfort zone. Go somewhere that's predominantly black. Walk in, sit down, and say, hey, what's up, man? What are you drinking? I'll bet you within 10 minutes that dude's going to buy you a beer and y'all going to be talking about the same shit. But what happens is we buy into this other bullshit. We buy into everybody's supposed to be offended by everything. We're not supposed to say certain things. That's how we become friends. Welcome to the real world where this is how men act. Like I come from a fire department background. And I can tell you in a fire department background, you're going to hear things, okay? You're going to hear things that the PC police would have a fucking stroke over. You're going to sit down in a firehouse with me, and there's going to be a black guy there. And we're going to say, hey, what's for dinner? And I'm going to look at him and be like, fried chicken's off the fucking table tonight. Not again. And I'm going to laugh. And he's going to laugh. And he's going to sit there and he's going to go, that's fine, but we're eating something fucking spicier than vanilla ice cream for dinner, white boy. And I'm going to laugh, and he's going to laugh. And neither fucking one of us are offended. Neither fucking one of us are crying. Because at the end of the day, I give a fuck he's black. He gives a fuck I'm white. It's an easy joke. The only goddamn thing I care about is that he's going to pull my ass out of a building. I'm going to pull his ass out of a building because that's all that matters. Because we're brothers. And that's how brothers act. Did y'all have siblings growing up? You never pushed one down? You never fucking smeared shit on their face? Not actual shit. Okay, that's crossing the line. You never did fucked up things to your sibling? No, you love the shit out of them, though. I have a sister. And I've called my sister names. I've thrown things at her. I have picked on her. I've picked at her. But I guarantee you, the minute somebody fucks with her, I'll kill him. Because that's how brothers and sisters are. All this bullshit you see about, oh, no. Look, fried chicken is a stereotype. We shouldn't say that. It's offensive. No bullshit. Bullshit. Words without intent are just words. They're just jokes. There's no intent. There has to be intent for harm. Words don't hurt. Everybody just needs to wake up. Realize we've all been friends for a long time. Is there some back-asswards fucking hillbillies out there who hate black people for no goddamn reason at all? Yeah, there are. And they live in their mom's basement. And they sit and they draw angry pictures all the time. And they post under fake names and fake profiles because they're too much of a bitch to come out and say it. Are there black people who hate the shit out of white people for no reason? Yeah, absolutely. And they sit there and they beat their drum and they yell and they scream while most black people are like, dude, I just need to get to work. Like, can you just please move? I was supposed to be there like 10 minutes ago. Dude, can you please? Because that's not most of us. And those of them that are mean nothing. They mean nothing. They don't speak for the rest of us. They don't speak for public opinion. They don't speak for the majority. They speak for themselves. And for some reason, the media gives them a fucking platform. Broadcasts them all over the news. Look at Charlottesville. You think this is the first time a neo-Nazi march has ever happened? Hell no. Hell to the no. No. They've been going on since Nazis. But now we plaster them all over TV, and what happens? Oh, everybody that voted for Trump is a Nazi. And Trump's probably pretty much Hitler. He's pretty much Hitler. Minus the fact he hasn't killed millions of innocent fucking people. He hasn't disarmed an entire country. He hasn't established a new wave government and killed off everyone who opposes him. But he's pro Hitler. And anybody that says like he's not a bad guy, oh, Nazi! No, not the case. So happens when you give somebody a platform. You make them important. You give them credence when they had none before. God damn, like we agree on so many common things. I don't trust the government. I do not trust the United States government. I do not think the United States interest or the United States government has my best interest in mind. Most white people feel that way. Most black people feel that way. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I am a Christian. Most white people feel that way. Most black people feel that way. I'd like to make more money. Most white people, most black people. I want my kid to be better than me. Most white people, most black people. There's not a difference. I don't give a shit where you grew up at. I don't care. Oh, yo, want to do North and South? I like this one too. North and South. There's a giant divide. Nope. I used to sell real estate. I had a client one time. He was a black guy. He was from up north. He was from Connecticut. Wanted to move down this way to retire. We were sitting at a convenience store one day. I was on the phone trying to set up some last minute showings. He was like, hey man, do you want a drink? I was like, yeah, can you just grab me a sweet tea real quick? He was like, yeah, no problem. He came back with tea with lemon. And I kind of looked at him. I'm like, what the hell is this? He's like, you said you wanted sweet tea, right? Yeah, I didn't say I wanted tea with lemon. I said I wanted sweet tea. That's not a black thing. That's a North and South thing. In the North, sweet tea is tea with lemon. In the South, sweet tea is diabetes in a cup. That's not a black and white thing. That's a North and South thing. There's no difference between us. And everybody just needs to wake up and stop believing everything you're spoon-fed. Come together. Find the 95% of ground that is common. We'll work out the 5%. We'll figure something out. But instead we're going to stand divided and fighting each other and screaming at each other over the 5%. Ain't going to work, guys. We need to step our game up.